そうですね、10人っていう、まあ、多い、世界チャンピオンの中、まあ、近年本当に日本のレベルが上がってるんで。
In every generation, boxing gives us a few fighters who redefine what greatness looks like. Some build their names on noise, others earn it in silence, round after round, through blood and will. Naoya Inoue belongs to that rare second kind. But before the world called him the monster, before the belts, the records, and the respect, there were doubts. They said he was overhyped. They said he hadn't been tested. They said his power was exaggerated, his opposition too weak, his fame too local.
Inoue makes history tonight in Tokyo, Japan, becoming the first ever undisputed bantamweight world champion.
They looked at him and saw just another small fighter from Japan, not realizing that behind the calm face stood a storm waiting to strike. At first, the critics were loud. They mocked his size, his reach, his quiet personality. They said he looked too small to rule any division. But Inoue's silence was never weakness. It was focus. He didn't answer with words. He answered with fists. Every time he stepped into the ring, something happened. Opponents who underestimated him felt a kind of power they hadn't known before. Not just physical strength, but precision that punished every mistake. Inoue didn't just win fights, he dismantled men. He broke their rhythm, shattered their confidence, and left them wondering how someone so calm could cause so much damage. Still, the world questioned him. They said his record was inflated. They said he fought only in Japan because he couldn't handle the pressure of the international stage. They said the hype was built on geography, not skill.
Right hand right over the top, and here's the finish. One of the best finishers in boxing, if not the best.
But what they didn't see was the quiet fire burning inside him, the hunger of a man who needed no validation except victory itself.
Counting, and I remember thinking, come on, get up now. And I honestly thought he was on about 3, and he shouts 8, 9. I thought, bastard.
The first of those who doubted him to pay the price was Paul Butler. Butler came to believe the monster's power would fade over 12 rounds. He believed Inoue was all speed, no endurance, that if he could survive early, he could steal the fight late. But when the bell rang, reality hit him like thunder. Inoue didn't rush. He studied, he observed, and once he understood the rhythm, he began to strike sharp, clean, merciless. Each punch was placed with purpose. Each combination delivered with surgical control. Within minutes, Butler's plan dissolved. The brave Brit who came to fight spent the rest of the night surviving. His guard came up, his feet started moving backward, his punches became prayers. The monster had arrived, and the ring had no space left to run. Round after round, Inoue painted his art. It wasn't rage. It was rhythm-controlled violence performed with grace. The sound of his gloves landing echoed like drums of destiny. By the later rounds, Butler's body began to betray him. Every breath came slower, every movement heavier. He had entered the fight hoping to prove Inoue was just hype, but now he was learning the truth. Hype doesn't hurt this much. When the 11th round came, Inoue unleashed the final storm. His punches grew sharper, faster, heavier like lightning chasing thunder. A right hand landed clean, freezing Butler in place. Another followed, then another, and the champion fell. The referee's count didn't matter. The fight was already over. Inoue stood in quiet triumph, not screaming, not celebrating, just watching the result of his work, the way an artist steps back from a finished masterpiece. That night, the critics went silent. The man they called all hype had become undisputed champion. But Naoya Inoue wasn't satisfied. True champions never are. He moved up a weight class into the dangerous world of super bantamweights, where bigger men waited to test his limits.
Stuff right there from Inoue.
Just stands up to that offensive effort from Inoue from Neri and fires back. Oh, his right hand! Combination up top!
Some said he was chasing too much too soon. They said the power that destroyed smaller opponents would not work against the larger, stronger champions ahead. But Inoue knew what they didn't. Greatness is not about size. It's about precision, timing, and will. And his will was unbreakable. The next mountain was steep. At the top stood Stephen Fulton, an American champion known for his slick defense, confidence, and control. Fulton didn't believe in the legend of Inoue. He thought it was all a show built on easy wins. He promised to expose the myth. But on fight night, it was the myth that became reality. Inoue entered the ring not with anger, but with purpose. He didn't waste energy. He didn't chase. He hunted patiently, cutting the ring, forcing openings, breaking Fulton's rhythm. Every jab from Inoue felt like a hammer, every counter like a blade. And when the moment came, he exploded. A barrage of power shots that turned Fulton's confidence into panic. Within minutes, the so-called hype had dismantled another champion. The crowd watched in awe as the man they once doubted unified another division. The monster had grown larger, stronger, and more dangerous. But there was one more test, one more fighter brave enough to step into the fire. His name was TJ Dohini, the Irish powerhouse with a reputation for knockouts and a punch that could end a career. He had traveled the world, beaten champions, and earned respect as one of the hardest hitters in the sport. And now he wanted to be the man to stop the monster. Inoue welcomed him with the same quiet calm. Tokyo's arena glowed with anticipation. When the lights dimmed, the crowd felt something in the air, the feeling that they were about to witness history. As Inoue walked to the ring, his expression was cold, focused, ready. No emotion, no fear, no hesitation. Across from him, Dohini smiled, confident, maybe even overconfident. He dropped his hands, taunted, dared the monster to come closer, and Inoue accepted the invitation. From the opening bell, the rhythm belonged to the Japanese warrior. Every movement was measured. Every punch had a purpose. He went to the body early, landing clean hooks that shook the Irishman's core. Dohini tried to answer back with his deadly left hook, but Inoue saw it coming every time, slipping just out of range and firing counters that landed harder, faster, sharper. The crowd roared as each round built on the last. The fight turned from competition into education. One man teaching another the difference between power and mastery. By the middle rounds, Dohini was changing color. Red marks covering his ribs, sweat and pain mixing on his face. But still, he refused to quit. He swung wild, hoping to find one perfect punch to change everything. That's the beauty and tragedy of fighting. Hope can keep you standing long after logic tells you to fall. But against Inoue, hope is not enough. Then came the 7th round. Inoue's patience ended. He turned up the pressure, his punches flowing like a storm. A clean combination to the body folded Dohini in half. He dropped to one knee, gasping for air, clutching his side. The referee began to count, but deep down, everyone knew it was over. The monster had struck again. The crowd erupted, but Inoue's face stayed calm. There was no joy in destruction, only duty. He had done what he came to do: silence doubt, defend his legacy, and remind the world what true greatness looks like. When the fight ended, Dohini sat in his corner, broken but proud. He had fought a legend and lived to tell the tale. Inoue, meanwhile, stood in the center of the ring, expressionless. To him, victory was never about celebration, it was about perfection. He had just unified yet another division, yet his eyes looked beyond, searching for new mountains to climb. But even as he conquered new lands, the whispers returned. Some said his wins came because of favorable matchups. Some said he hadn't fought enough big names in America. Some said the monster's aura was beginning to fade. They were wrong again. Years earlier, an American fighter named Antonio Nieves had made the same mistake. He thought Inoue was overprotected, that he only looked good because he fought at home. He called him untested, unproven, lucky. And then he met him in the ring. From the first round, Nieves learned the truth. Inoue's punches weren't hype. They were reality. Fast, heavy, accurate. Every shot had weight, and every combination had intent. Inoue controlled the distance, dictated the pace, and punished every opening. Nieves tried to respond to prove he belonged, but Inoue's rhythm was relentless. He went to the body again and again, each punch landing with a thud that echoed through the arena. By the middle rounds, the American's pride was gone, replaced by survival instinct. He backed up, covered up, tried to escape, but Inoue didn't let him breathe. In the 5th, a vicious left hook to the body dropped him hard. He rose, but he wasn't the same. Inoue followed with a wave of combinations that broke his spirit. By the sixth, Neva's corner had seen enough. They stopped the fight, not to save a record, but to save a life. Inoue had made his point once more. He wasn't hype. He was real. Painfully, undeniably real. Every man who doubted him had learned the same lesson in the same way, with punches that left marks not only on the body, but on the memory. Through every victory, Inoue stayed humble. He never shouted, never mocked, never disrespected. His strength was quiet, his confidence silent. He carried the spirit of Japan with him, disciplined, honorable, and precise. His goal was never fame. It was excellent, to perfect his craft, to master the art of violence and turn it into beauty. That's what makes Naoya Inoue special. He doesn't just win fights, he elevates boxing itself. In every performance, there's poetry, rhythm, control, balance. He moves like water, yet hits like stone. His timing is not just skill, it's instinct, built from years of repetition and obsession. And through it all, he remains grounded, a husband, a father, a quiet man who lets his gloves speak. Today, when people talk about greatness, his name stands among the best. 4-division world champion, unified across multiple weights, an unbeaten record that glows with dominance. And still, the hunger continues. Because for Naoya Inoue, greatness isn't a destination. It's a journey, a promise he keeps to himself every time he trains, every time he fights, every time he walks back to the corner and tells his team, I can do better. From the doubters who once mocked him to the fans who now adore him, everyone has learned the same truth. The monster was never hype. He was destiny in disguise. And destiny, when it arrives, doesn't ask for permission. It simply takes what's already written. The story of Naoya Inoue isn't about fame or fear. It's about belief. Belief in work, in focus, in silence. It's about proving that greatness doesn't need to shout. It just needs time. And when the time comes, even the loudest critics fall silent before the sound of a single perfect punch. As the lights fade and the crowd chants his name, the monster stands tall, not just as a champion, but as a symbol. A reminder that true power doesn't come from muscle or noise. It comes from discipline, from patience, from purpose, from a heart that refuses to doubt itself even when the world does. So when people say Naoya Inoue was all hype, history now laughs because hype fades. But legends never fade. They rise again and again until even disbelief turns into awe. And Naoya Inoue, the quiet warrior from Japan, stands as living proof that greatness doesn't need permission and it doesn't need validation. It only needs belief and the courage to chase perfection no matter who doubts it. He is not hype. He is not a chance. He is the monster, and his story has only just begun.